the agri space. There is robotics and mechanization happening in that space as well. Interesting projects happening from fertilizers, improving the quality of fertilizers, specific yielding fertilizers, specific crop fertilizers, fertilizers that reduce the amount of space that is needed to carry essentially more potent fertilizers. Learn from that, learn from stuff that's coming from outside. I think it becomes the need of the hour, whether it is the financial rails, you meet with people who have interesting ideas. So this is a way you can connect with me. You can find me on LinkedIn. You can connect with us. You can connect with our company as well. Thank you.
I think the post-lunch session has been quite good. 2 people have cheered you up. Most of you are still talking in sub-conferences. So I can see that my job is going to be easier. Before the PowerPoint comes up, many of the things have been done by the 2 previous speakers. I'm just going to quickly run through some statistics, some numbers for you. What is there in store for youngsters like you in the renewable energy sector? And renewable energy sector, as you know, is a multi-physics, inter-engineering, inter-science, physical science together. So I think, is it coming up? Yeah. Keep the first slide on. Yeah, I'm just throwing you some highlights here. The small wind sector, which is yet to get a boost in India, the small wind sector. But I'm sure with the EVs proliferating, at every 50 kilometers, you need a charging point for two-wheeler. At every 100 kilometers, you need a charging point for car, for a medium-rated car. Otherwise, up to 300 kilometers. Today, I think in the newspapers, they have also flagged battery swapping technology to be included in the policy of EV vehicle in Go Electric India mission. So renewable energy, all of you know the major things are solar and wind. I think there is no pointer here. Okay. The wind sector, you will find in one windmill, there is 14 megawatts installed. Can you imagine? In one windmill, 14 megawatts installed. It is in France, Paris, near a port. That means the size of the blade is about 120 meters and so on. It has to be carried by multiple trucks. And there are mega solar farms, grid-connected solar farms. And rooftop solar, all of you are aware. And small wind is yet to pick up in India. But there is a lot of scope for 7,600 kilometers in India, the coastline, which has got land breeze and sea breeze. Everyone can have it. Only thing is the investment and the maintenance for wind machines are a little bit complicated than the simple clean and watch the connection kind of a solar PV project. So, next slide. Sorry, in one press it goes very fast. Can I go back? Yeah. Okay. What we mean by sustainable? What we mean by sustainable is shown in these 2 pictures. So mostly I am showing electric vehicles, electric traction in railways, and battery swapping technologies, fast charging systems, and so on. At the same time, there are simple techniques every one of us can do, following the traditional way, drying your clothes instead of using the dryer. Every unit of electricity saved, you are saving the world from getting polluted. Because even today, 60% of the electricity in the world, or 70% is being generated using coal, fossil fuels, which has to change over the years. So what we mean by sustainable is to use public transportation. Again, we are coming into COVID scenario. We cannot use public transportation the way we used to use. Crowded trains are not possible now. So there is a mix of everything in what we practice as sustainable. I want us to go through. I will leave the slides for anybody to copy. The organizers will give it to them. I'm not able to read partly because I don't want to read everything, given the short time. Now let's see. Okay. Tech-wise, IRENA, I'm just concentrating on 2 reports from Google because I have retired 5 years back. My connection with the industry is limited to my consulting. Okay. So I'm just using 2 reports. One is IRENA job, renewable jobs report 2021, which gives you tech-wise what is the possible scenario. And also another report, which I'll be coming soon, GETI. GETI is Global Energy Talent Index. So that gives you over a 43 questionnaire survey to the people who are working in the industry world over. About 1 million responses to 43 questions have been analyzed. Year on year, the GETI report is being published. What is the salary level? What is the kind of roles one can play in renewable energy industry? And what is the contractual cost? So all these things are given in the next piece of report. So what you see here, India is also, there are the 12 million job opportunities in the renewable sector, which is almost 3 times more than any energy sector, overall energy sector, 3 to 4 times more than the energy sector. And maximum opportunities provided in China, 4.7 million. India comes about 5th or so, 0.726 million jobs are generated. Some more exact numbers from another source is about 0.835 million jobs. And you see at the box, the colored box, what job is available in which renewable energy sector. So here again, you see various, the solar PV sector gives the highest of the jobs available today because it is highly decentralized. You can have distributed energy systems. You can become a producer come consumer. That is by net metering technology and so on. Everybody who has got a well-lit sun roof, they can have their own power produced and use it and reduce their bill, electricity bill. So there is a lot of demand for it, and the skill set development is also probably a matter of 4 or 5 days. You can develop a rural, semi-educated person into assembling a solar panel on the roof and maintaining it. So the job opportunities in the solar PV is very high, 3.7 million. And there are already Surya Mitras, which are promoted by Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. Every year, there are so many certified programs, certificate people go out and serve the rural energy needs. Okay, there is a very good possibility now with a microgrid or mini-grid development to put up electric charging stations all over the rural sector. So, because we have 300 days of sunshine all over India, we have very sea breeze, land breeze, entire coastline. So you combine this wind and solar together, you can put micro and mini grids to charge your EV. So the charging the EV becomes fuel-less, naturally fueled. So this is going to pick up very soon. This is a slide from Energy Storage Alliance, Dr. Rahul. And next we will go to country-wise renewable opportunities. India stands again one of the leading renewable energy job providers. What you see on the left side is the US Clean Jobs report. That again gives you solar as one of the dominant job creators. In India also, the solar is still a very good job creator. Kindly go through the reports for more details. I don't want to, within the short time, I will not be able to cover. So I have given in my website, if you go, there is one Tamil 1 hour session on sustainable global energy transition. I call it acronym SGET. And another with the Visvesvaraya College of Engineering, which was an invited talk, 1 hour, which is also YouTube, link is there, where you can see more about the technology. Now let's talk about what are the technologies, what complications are there. Is it India, why India has not gone for offshore so far? Is it so easy to migrate from onshore wind to offshore so easily? Not so easy. Because the onshore wind, if you take 6 crores per megawatt, the cost of equipment, wind turbine, blades, and other equipment will be about 70% of the overall cost. 30% will be the balance of plant, the civil foundations, and erection, commissioning, maintaining, and so on. Whereas when you go to offshore, the scenario is totally different. It is just the ulta, just the reverse. That is, a lot of blue-collar jobs are available in the offshore wind industry because it is 70% is erection, commissioning, installation, geological surveys, underwater commissioning, all those things to plan for the foundation and so on. The cost of the equipment is only 30% of the overall cost in the case of offshore. So India is heading for a big offshore project. 350 crores has been sanctioned to set up an offshore plant in Tanushkodi. Recently, National Institute of Wind Energy, where I was there 8 years, is now taking up the job to put up the prototype plants in offshore in Tamil Nadu. A lot of opportunities there. It's a highly paying job. Okay, next one is waste to energy. So you have, every one of us generate waste. All of you agree with that. Solid waste management has been realized very, very lately. Waste to wealth is what we are embarking on, but it is a very low process. If you see at the bottom, how much carbon can be saved by converting the dump yards which are emitting methane that can be very nicely captured using porous tubes and systems which are being done in Sweden and other countries. So every methane can be captured and it can be used to generate green hydrogen, which is a promising fuel for trucks, long distance trucks. Instead of, it is already being in practice in US and Europe in many places. Next, let me quickly go through. And whenever it comes to renewable energy, people talk about it is infirm. Wind wind suddenly stops, or the solar is clouded, the sun is getting clouded, the energy goes out. Now it's not the place with ICT, information communication technology, AI technology, industrial Internet of Things and industrial Internet of Things. They have facilitated now forecasting possible for every 15 minutes what will come from which renewable energy source into the grid power. So right now, the Australian wind farms are being monitored in Perungudi. Hope all of you would have an opportunity to see in the Perungudi control station of Vestas. So that's a kind of technology that is available. So I'm a civil engineer, I'm talking about this. So like the first speaker said very, very well, you have to keep these things open, your eyes open all around you. Grab the opportunities. That's how we have to move further. Because, 10 years back, everyone joined IT industry. Every core engineer and topper will be joining IT industry to code some software lines, which is not the one which he learned to be practiced. Now the trend is reversing. So now there is an opportunity. Whatever engineering you do does not matter. There is a merger of several disciplines today without which you cannot find a job or you cannot start a company. That's how it is. So remember that. So you have to be keeping open. Go Electric is launched 2021. I think I don't want to talk about it. Many authors have already talked about it. It's picking up very fast. And Chennai has already become a Detroit, giving spares for automobiles. And probably soon it'll also become a very very good hub for renewable equipment manufacturing. And let me skip this also, go electric. Many things have been covered. And key technology, when you want to establish a charging station, it will be much less than the petrol bank to be established. The cost of it, depending on the capacity of the charging station, you can establish with much less cost than the petrol stations, petrol pumps. Right, hydrogen is being propagated already. Hydrogen as an energy for carrier, and you can fill hydrogen in hydrogen station, which was given free of cost by Toyota some years back. The patent was given for anybody to set up a hydrogen station to power their hydrogen vehicles. So you can fill it just like petrol. You can fill 2 to 3 minutes, you can fill up and travel for 500 kilometers and so on. So that's also, it's oncoming technology today, with the green hydrogen being focused today. Hydrogen mission also has been launched in India. Right, hydrogen production and infrastructure is in multiple ways one can produce hydrogen. Hydrogen is also one of the raw material for ammonia, fertilizer, so many other things. The Sweden and Switzerland has already started using, instead of coal in their steel plants, they started using hydrogen as fuel, as energy. So this is a very very gray area which has to be captured. Now let me come to quickly in a couple of slides I'll be highlighting on GETI report, which shows that this is I'm not able to read. I have a small problem. So you will find, all of you young eyes, you can read the kind of jobs you will get in renewable energy. What roles as RE jobs? You will find this is all in this is annual income pay, which is declared by the employees from several companies from 170 countries. Okay, it is in 40,000 or 30,000 average US dollars. I'm sure you will find this is highly lucrative, and you may ask me, we are not getting that kind of salary in India. India, there is a lot of manpower. What is required is just pick up a bit of skill set in the domain of the RE, then you will land into the other things. If you find these jobs, you will find 1/3 of the jobs are with management function. So all engineers should understand what is business case, what is cash flow, what is the business, what if I do this way, how much I can save to the company or to the nation. This is the kind of thinking what you need. The managerial aspect has to be built in your final year career. There is an opportunity by International Project Management Association. The final year students can get certified, if not MBA degree, you can get certified in IPMA D level. That certificate is valid all over the world, and you will be able to appreciate, organize yourself well as you will understand the business case where you are going to work. This is the kind of salaries. Please go through the report. It is downloadable in the website for details. And as a contractor, you'll always have a premium. The contract daily wage will be much more than the employee salary. So that means if you are a high risk taker, you can start your venture capital and do this service that is required in the renewable energy sector. And it will be almost 1.5 to 2 times more than the employee salary. That's what you get, because it is temporary. You do the service for a short time. Okay, I think these are some of the question and answers wherein you will find what is driving me into the sector. You will find here, I think, the 20 to 35 age group of people are the maximum in the renewable energy sector, and they also get paid. And the renewable energy sector is heading for 12 million jobs in 2030, and 32% is going to be from the female gender. So it is. coming outside that. Okay. Yeah, and the GETI and IRENA report says what are the ways one can be ready. The practice school practice, which is there in US, so that is they give a orientation to face the company directly. So not the first ranker will always be taken. Why the companies conduct interview? It's not only the first ranker they want all the time. Depending on the job requirement, they want an overall performer. So you need to be ready for the industry, get some accredited certifications while you are doing the course itself. I think in India, there is a National Council for Green Jobs, and they address almost all the sectors in renewable energy in India. It's a very organized sector. I think Raghunathan will agree. He is one of them who started decades back, sending people to Singapore, training them in solar PV, and get them employed or get them make a startup themselves. Am I right? I think that's how he did it. So that's the way you have to think out of box. Please think out of box. Don't be contented with what you get a degree with a university rank. Okay. And last few slides I am completing. IRENA has very clearly said there is a possibility we are the generation which can save the earth. That is 36.9 gigatons of carbon can be removed with 25% renewables, 25% jobs from energy efficiency, electrification by another 20%, and so on. By electrifying, India will save a lot of foreign exchange. 85% of the fossil fuel is imported in India with dollar payments. By electrification, when you use renewable energy, this can be very, very well saved. And this slide shows you what we are here in 2021. About 51% of the electricity is direct use. In 2050, we should use 50% of the electricity for direct use of electricity. And that electricity, 90% of it should be generated from renewables. That means you can imagine the kind of job market available in the renewable energy sector, and it is a highly interdisciplinary, merging science and engineering together to give you a viable opportunity. This slide I am just flagging here. We have enjoyed, I'm 65. If I live for another 20 years, I might see the petrol banks empty. Fossil fuel may be not available so easily. Now itself the cost is 100 plus. So, and the emitted CO2 by me will remain for 120 to 150 years because it's the life, it's the residual life of the carbon dioxide unless it is captured and saved. So renewables play a vital role in getting the sustainable global energy transition, and both solar heat energy can also be used very well, and we are not thinking about it. In India, there is a big promise for solar thermal to be used for air conditioning. There are already people who have implemented 40-ton and so on, turbo energy, and wind with wind, onshore and offshore, even land breeze, sea breeze in the sea coast, you can combine. And think small, do and get it done by the mass. That is rooftop. If everyone goes for it, then you are going to relieve the grid of a lot of money, the grid coal-produced electricity. That's what is required. And informed renewable energy is not anymore. It can be very accurately forecast with the AI techniques. We have demonstrated in Tamil Nadu. Now the evacuation of wind energy and solar energy in Tamil Nadu is almost 85 to 90%. No backdowns. God has created no waste. Waste is wealth. See, work for it. Future of sustainable mobility is using IoT, ICT, IIoT, and so on. I think we are the only generation we can save the future. The answer is act now. Many children talked in COP26. You remember, don't keep on talking in seminars and conferences like this. Act now, save world's energy resources. That's the answer. How do we do it? Reduce carbon emission, reuse without any waste, and recycle material. This is the strategy. Think global, act local. This is my message. And youngsters, you are more than a supercomputer in the world. Only human brain can think and innovate. Please do that innovation, creativity, and do contribute to India's wealth and global wealth. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. That was phenomenal. And youngsters, how many of you saw the opportunities coming up in front of you? I saw at least 100, 200 opportunities in the last 1 hour and 30 minutes. It was phenomenal. Thank you very much, sirs. And volunteers, could we have the felicitation even for the speakers? If you have any questions or any clarifications, the volunteers are there. They'll be handing over a small slip of paper. Please write your name, your query, and to which speaker, and please give it back to the volunteers. It will be addressed today evening or tomorrow evening. We will come back to you on that. Mr. Rajaram, Dr. Rajaram, thank you very much, sir. Let's give them a big hand of applause. Mr. Manu Iyer, thank you very much. Dr.S.Gomathinayagam, it was wonderful, sir. You produce and you consume was an excellent takeaway from your session. Thank you, sir.